Alright guys, welcome to the UK Scale and Crawler video. This evening's video, seeing as it's like, best part of nearly tomorrow morning now, because it's about 11:30 at night. Battery placement. I tend to run my batteries across the chassis like that. Reason being, if you run your battery in the back, it puts too much weight over the back end, so it stops you climbing up stuff. When you're trying to go up things, it'll tend to just make you flip over. And with the likes of the Honcho and stuff like that, the batteries come that way, mounted, and they're mounted quite high up. So yeah, you've got the weight over the front end, which is a good thing. You know, you don't want it over the back end. You want as much weight at the front as you can get. But you don't want the battery that high, because if it's that high, as soon as the car goes to go up, there's that much weight up high, it'll just kick it over. So what I do is I run my batteries across the chassis rails like so. Now, to do it, you can do it with the bits that come with your car. You don't need to buy any extra parts. In your parts bag, you should have 2 spare servo posts. Now, these are the posts which, there's your servo plate. These posts sit on here like that, and then once you've got them on there, then your servo goes on. So that's what bolts your servo to the servo plate. So you need 2 of them, and you need 2 small screws around that big. In fact, trust the Alvernier gauge out. Let's see. You need 2 screws around 7mm, and then you need another 2 around 13mm. So, and you'll need 2 nuts. So once you've got all your bits, you can use your existing battery tray. Now, this battery tray I had made, it's just a piece of carbon fibre. It is exactly the same size as the standard SCX10 one though. So what you'll need to do, you'll need your battery tray, as I've said, your servo posts, and your 4 screws. Now, the holes that are in the holes that you need to mount everything up are already in the chassis. So you don't need to start drilling your chassis or nothing, you can use the existing ones. Now, if you look behind your front shocks, just on the bend of the chassis there, you see that hole? You'll need to drill that out slightly, just so you can fit the screws through, that's all. Nothing massive. You'll need to go up by 0.5 of a mil. I think the hole's 2.5. I think the hole's 2mm, and you need to drill it out with a 2.5 to do it. So what you do is you get your servo posts, and you want to mount them upside down on the chassis. So the hole that goes all the way through, or I'm going to put it, the longer end of the servo post, that bit bolts up to the chassis. Now, on some servo posts, they're enclosed at the back. The standard SCX10 ones aren't. These ones are off a Scout, but they do the same job. But yeah, so you'll need to drill that top hole through. Then once you've drilled that all the way through, you then get your screw like that, push it through the servo post. So you see the way it's shaped, the way it sticks out, you need that side the furthest away from the chassis. So when you put it in, you put so the L shape is pointing away from the chassis. You get that, and you stick that through the hole there on your chassis. Then you'll need to put a nut on the back of that. Now, this will be a little bit of a pig, I think. Oh, no, let me see. No, I can get that, we're alright. So you'll need to do that and then get it screwed in. Now, you need to do these up as tight as you can possibly do them as well. So make sure that they're squeezed in good styling, because otherwise, if it comes loose when you're out, it's going to be a bit of a pig. You can do your head in. There's a good chance if you don't run a spare gear cover as well, your battery will end up in your spare gear. So you make sure that these are tight. Right. So I'll just bring the camera in a bit closer so you can see. There's one sec. Right, now I've got the camera angle sorted. So you need to get your servo post so it's sitting upside down off the chassis, pointing so it's up away, with the hole pointing that way, so it's all sitting up. Anyway, so you do that, do the same on the other side, right? And then once you've done that, in fact I'll do that one now, quick. I should have done this before I turn the camera back on really, but hey ho. It's getting quite late at night now, I'm getting a little bit tired, shall we say. So, as you can see how tight they are. So you get them both pointing up away from the chassis like that. Now next, standard Axial battery trays normally got a hole there and a hole there. Don't worry about it, you can still leave them in, but you don't use them anymore. What you'll need to do is you get your battery tray. Now push this edge, or the leading edge, whichever edge you want, but push the edge tight up against where the shock tower just finishes on the chassis. So just as you come up the chassis and you see the lip of the shock tower, you want to push that edge against tight up against it. So you'll do that, and then you'll need a scribe or a screwdriver or something. Get it centered as much as you can with the shocks. So because if you get it centered with your shocks, you know it's dead center in the chassis. Then you'll need to score underneath for the edge of your servo mount, and then you have to measure from the edge here to the center of the hole that's in your servo mount. And once you've measured that, score down the side of down the back of the battery tray, and then just use that measurement to move across so you know where the hole is, and then buzz yourself 2 holes into your battery tray. Then once you've done that, you can push it tight up against the shock towers and then just whack your 2 small screws in. So this can tend to be a little bit fiddly as well. I would recommend countersinking the screws. Well, yeah, countersink the holes, just for the fact that it'll stop the screws poking into your battery. Well, the bolts, should I say, poking into your battery. So you mount that like that, and then just push your servo mounts forward until it sits up tight against the shock towers. And screw that down properly, like that. So then you've now got your battery tray mounted up the front. It's behind the axle, so because it's behind the axle, how can I put it? It keeps the weight down really low, but it puts the weight more to the back of the tyres as well, which will help you bite when you're climbing up things, because it'll make all the back of the tyre do most of the work. So yeah, so you put your battery tray in like that. Now you may find that the battery tray will move up and down. Don't worry, it's really easy to fix. All you need to do, drill another hole in your battery tray there, and just either zip tie or something along the lines of to this mount that goes across between your 2 shock hoops, and then that will hold the battery tray forward and stop it moving backwards. But then the way I do, I've just got a massive battery strap, really long one, so I'll feed that under the back here, or under the front should I say, and then pull it through and round. And then when I tighten this up with my battery in, obviously it'll pull against that the brace that goes between the 2 shock hoops. So because it pulls against the brace, it'll then pull the battery down. But you can then run your battery there. So I'm not even going to bother tightening that up, but you get the general idea. Now once your battery is running here, as I was saying, it'll keep the weight behind the axle, but it's also really low. So because it's really low, it'll give you that bit more of an angle before the car will tip. So yeah, personally on all of my rigs I run my battery like that, because you can see a tremendous difference in the way you wriggle drive. So that's about it for this little quick wee video. well, I hope everyone runs the battery like this, because it just makes a massive difference to the way your car drives. So yeah, cheers guys, thank you very much for watching. I know it was only a quick video, but it's all it really needs to be for something as easy as that. Click the subscribe button for us if you already haven't. Share the video about communities and stuff for me, so if you're on Facebook or Google or should I say Google Plus, or Twitter or forums or any good stuff like that, then just share the video about for me and we'll see if we can get some more subscribers to the channel. And yeah, cheers. See you all next weekend, hopefully, at the motocross.